Morning, Alex. I'm going to be really excited when I get a house that has more lights so that all of my videos don't look really dark. Alex, since you commented that we've been talking pretty much nonstop about games, and so the vlog should basically be a game-based vlog, I thought I would change the subject, and we're going to talk about videos today. Most of this is going to be me ranting about some of the problems that can be faced during video production, and basically the ones that I have been facing over the last 2 weeks. As I said the other week, I was scheduled to interview some people from the EPA 2 weeks ago, and unfortunately that fell through. Now, the dilemma with that falling through is the fact that I have been carrying camera equipment around to and from campus a lot more often than I really needed to. Normally I wouldn't just bring that to campus unless I was actually going to be recording something. And I'm not that lazy that it really bothers me that I have to carry the camera equipment. Mostly it's just the fact that it's just a lot of stuff. It's a lot of hauling. And if I wasn't going to interview people, I really wouldn't want to bring it all the way there. But that's fine. So last Friday, I actually did end up interviewing the EPA people, and it was really fun. It was good. They were really interesting people. I really enjoyed setting it up. Immediately following the interviews on Friday, I took that tape to a place on campus where they have an HDV deck so that I could digitize that footage. The reason I do that on campus is because my computer at home, where I actually edit all my stuff, doesn't have a FireWire port, which is required in order to digitize footage from the camera into Adobe Premiere Pro. So I have to take it to campus, digitize it, put it onto a sort of like a USB flash stick, and then transfer it onto my own laptop in order to do the final editing. Now, the problem that occurred was that on Friday, after I had gone through the process of digitizing everything, I had forgotten to bring my USB stick. Because normally I would bring my backpack with my laptop, and that's where my USB stick stays all the time. But because I was so tired of carrying equipment to and from campus, I only brought the specific equipment that I would need, which is the light kit, the microphone, tripod, and camcorder. Normally that wouldn't be that big of a deal. I could just go back the next day and get it. Well, it's spring break, which means that that lab closed early and wasn't going to be open over the weekend for me to go in there and get it. Plus, my in-laws were visiting, and so we were spending time with them. I went there today. It was going to be really simple. Just plug the USB drive in, download the footage to it, and then head home. The problem is that with spring break, it's the perfect opportunity for them to reformat all of the computers on campus. And when I mean all of the computers on campus, I mean all of the computers on campus, which unfortunately means not only can I not access the computer, apparently it means that all the footage that I had previously digitized is now gone forever. I've still got the tape. The downside is that means now I have to go all the way back home in order to get the tape, because why would I bring the tape when the footage is just waiting for me on the computer? Now I have to find an HDV deck from which to digitize this footage, because the one that I usually use, it's the only one in that lab, and that lab is pretty much shut down. But you know what, that's fine, because in the library they have decks specifically dedicated to video editing, so all I have to do is go to the library and use one of those. I refer you back to my previous comment that all computers on campus are being upgraded, which means that the computers in the library are no longer functioning. To this point, most sane people would have just said, screw it, I give up. But then they suggested, they have laptops that they can plug in to this deck so that I can digitize. So I think to myself, yes, perfect, no worries, we'll just plug the laptop in, digitize the footage, and be done with it. But then the problem occurs that they don't have Adobe Premiere Pro. Now look, I've used several different editing softwares, including Final Cut Pro, which is the software that was available on the laptop, which, that works. It can plug in, it can digitize the footage, and that's fine. The problem is that the one footage is digitizing it as an AVI file, and the other footage is digitizing it as a .mov, and I don't know what the resolution is between the two. I don't know what the format is between the two. At this point, I just really want it done. So we plug in this thing to the laptop, and after talking with them for a while, I just say, forget it. I'm just going to digitize it in Final Cut Pro. I'm going to see what happens, and then we're just going to be done with it. So that's basically what happened. I digitized it, I brought it home, and then looking at it, I realized that Final Cut, for whatever reason, just sort of clipped out little pieces of the interview. Now I need to wait for the labs to open back up again so I can go back to the computer that I originally digitized on to redigitize the footage for a third time. That way I can have it in an AVI format, just like all the other things that I've had. And then I can put it on my laptop and get everything edited. So long story short, if you ever are tasked with interviewing people, bring everything. There you go, Alex. There is a post that has absolutely nothing to do with games. How cool is that? We've now discussed video production, which has basically just been me griping about my job, which I actually I enjoy my job. It's fantastic that I'm getting paid to do the things that I'm interested in doing. So Alex, I will see you tomorrow.